Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope you're having a great day. And I got a Netflix doubleheader here for you. So these are both available to watch right now on Netflix. Yesterday, we just kind of chilled out and we were looking at Netflix and we found two movies and we watched them. The first of which I'll talk about is called Senior Year. Now, to be blunt with you, I did not want to watch this movie. I thought it looked like just some stupid, cynical Happy Madison production cash grab type of thing. And I'm not particularly a big fan of Rebel Wilson or anything like that. And the premise seemed kind of like okay, it's kind of it's a Freaky Friday. I mean, it's some kind of it's a premise that you're like, all right, I get it. You see the movie in your head before you actually watch it. And I really was like, let's pass on this. But my fiance Megan seemed to be interested, and I was like, okay, I was gonna be nice. It's like maybe I'll check this out. I can do a review for it and kind of shit on it or whatever, and have a laugh at some people's hard work. But actually, I kind of really liked this movie. I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10. So before I spoil a lot of it or anything, I think it's worth watching. It's kind of long, actually. I was expecting it to be like an hour 30, stretch but the idea is there and it's executed in like a fun way. And if you're really nostalgic for like the early 2000s, that kind of pop stuff from the early 2000s and the look and all that, because I was like 8 years old in 2002, kind of when the class of 2002. I was 10 years old, so all this stuff is not nostalgic for me in like high school, but it is for like as a kid at that time. So it still did affect me in those ways, and it hits that nostalgia bone, and it's actually really funny. And yeah, I think it's not like a laugh a minute riot or anything, but the ideas that are in there, it's really there's some funny stuff. Specifically, there's these parts where, and the filmmakers, they just know what movie they're making. It's silly, and it never takes itself too seriously. And at the end, it gets a little hokey with the drama and like a message, like the message. All right, high school, yeah, high school doesn't define you, right? Everything you need to grow, you need to be more than you are in high school, right? There's a lot of talk about your perfect life. Oh, this was my dream house. This was my dream husband. We're going to have this perfect life. And the truth is there is no perfect life and yada, yada, yada. You get the picture, right? So all that stuff is fine and it's executed fine. The performances are actually really good. Rebel Wilson rides the line perfectly between insufferable and likable. There's parts where she's teetering on, this is I can't stand you. You're kind of cringe right now, but in a fun, likable way. And it's like the perfect line, and like I said, I'm not the hugest fan of Rebel Wilson. I mean, she was kind of funny in Pitch Perfect, and now she's lost her weight. Good for her. She's probably more healthy and feels better. That's good. Body positivity all around, but she was fine. And the kid actors in this are really good. There's like this, I could watch a movie of just these characters, like not even Rebel Wilson, take her out, and then just have these other kids. I could watch a movie with just them. They're that good. Like they're that likable. And it does a really good comparison of how back then is no better than how it is today. And it kind of pushes it to both extremes of like, back then, everyone wasn't included in everything. There's a prom queen, I want to say prom for some reason, prom king and queen. There's the jocks, there's the nerds, there's all this group thing and these cliques and everything, how that is in classic high school teen drama movies, dramedy movies. Like, that's how it's portrayed in the 2000s. And then we fast forward to today after 20 years of her coma. And I guess I didn't even explain the plot, but I mean, sorry. She gets in a coma for 20 years and she's a prom queen and then she's not. Yeah. But she comes back awake, and then she goes to school again, and then she sees it, and now her friend is the principal, and she's made these changes to where it's like high school today, where it's all inclusive, and there's nobody's mean to people, but it's all this subtext, and it's really well done. And now it's all like there's followers, and it's like, oh, friends aren't a thing anymore. It's your followers. Like, oh, she was friends with everyone, but now it's like it doesn't matter how many friends you have; it's how many followers you have. And I thought they did a really good job of contrasting that and comparing it, and really making it like just a parody of itself, of high school movies. And it's very self-aware, which is good. So I'm really like pumping this movie up, and I only gave it a 7 out of 10, but because it is one of those dramedy high school movies, but with a twist and some fun stuff and some style. Like, this movie never stops. It's constantly moving forward, and it's just fun and silly, and you can tell that the people in the movie are having so much fun making it. And that's a big part of it, is that they just feel like they are having so much fun, and there's these clips after the movie's over of them just goofing around and saying random stuff and dancing. There's a couple dance numbers in this, and it's so over the top and silly, and it's rated R, so there's some raunchy humor and comedy, which is great for someone that's like my age. It's like watching this, and you're like, all right, that's good. It's, we're going there. We're doing something raunchy and interesting. And yeah, so it's good. It hits those. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll probably never ever watch it again, but as far as these kinds of movies go, it really was executed well. Like, give the director, the writer is in the movie a little bit. He plays like this background character, and I've seen that guy before, and I'm like, this guy, he seems like he's funny and he knows what he's doing. The director I looked up hasn't really directed anything. Like, he's directed some episodes of TV shows that I like, but overall it's pretty good. At the very beginning, I was going to tell you something that happened, like a particular thing that made me laugh a lot. There's a lot of these dramatically directed scenes where it's like very stylized. Like, she's walking into prom, and it's like, oh, there's all these cameras, photography, and it's filmed in a way that's like epic and cinematic, and it's like, ooh, and it's just like they're going into like this super professional put together place, and it looks like this fancy, it's shot like a super fancy movie, and then they walk in, and then the camera immediately switches to just like this big wide shot where the colors are more drab, and there's not all the nice lighting, where it's like lit very very artistically. It's just kind of flat lighting, and I'm like, and they do that a couple times, and it really cracks me up, because it's like her point of view of like what she's feeling, what she's thinking is happening, and then there's like the real life, and it's like what it actually looks like. And I'm like, man, that's some good stuff. They do it a couple times, and it always made me laugh. And in the past, those scenes are shot like super bright and like, oh yeah, I'm full of life and I'm young. And then when it switches to the future, when she's older, it's like very drab, dull colors, and she's in this hospital, and it's like a good contrast. So there's some thought put into it, and there's some style put into it, and all the actors do such a good job, and I don't know, just solid. I think I looked up some reviews of this, and it doesn't, like, I was like, hey, this might be like, people might give this a 6 or 7 out of 10, but they're kind of low, and I'm kind of shocked by that. And so some people had some harsh things to say, and I'm like, why are you so harsh? Do you just hate fun? Like, I mean, it's no masterpiece, but I think it was just my expectations are so low. Because, like I said, this is not a Happy Madison production, because I could see what this would look like if it was a Happy Madison production. But that's kind of what the trailer, I was like, okay, that was my expectation. So my expectations were so low that I guess I was blown away with it, just for the fact that I had negative expectations. Right, so that's probably a little bit to do with it. But yeah, So check it out if you are interested, and I've convinced you. It's not bad. And I went on for 10 minutes about this, and I wanted to only do like 5 and 5. So let's switch to the next movie. And I don't know if I have as much to say about this one because it's just more. I don't know. We'll see. So let's talk about Metal Lords. Metal Lords is a like DB Weiss production. I don't think he directed it, but you know, one of the D&D guys, D&D referring to the showrunners for Game of Thrones. Remember when Game of Thrones was good? Man, I miss those days. But so DB Weiss is involved in this somehow, and Metal Lords is solid. And my expectations were, I wouldn't say high, but like I liked the idea, and I ended up liking it. I think I like it more. I give it like a 7.5, just because it is more of I don't want to say powerful, but more. It's just a better story than Senior Year. Not as funny as Senior Year, but still pretty funny. But more of a heartfelt story of like growing up, you know, being an outcast, a loner, a loser, and then you're trying to form a metal band to be cool and hip kids. There's a character in this. I don't remember what his name is, but not the main character, not the really nerdy kid, but like the psycho other lead, the friend character. He's such an interesting character because he has something wrong with him. And he has this insatiable need to like be heard and to prove everyone wrong. And there's like a deep dive you could go into this guy. And he has parental issues. His mom's probably dead. His dad's like kind of a deadbeat dad, but he's rich. And he's very complex. And so I like that. But he's just like a huge ass. And there's this great scene where he's in the classroom and he's going through all these. He's talking about like Dante's Inferno, and he's talking about the hell, and like he's playing these songs as he goes through and talks about it. And I'm like, this is a good scene. And all the acting is done really well. This guy has not been anything else, but I just believe that this is him. You know, like this kid is this kid. The other kid, they're all believable. They're all really believable. The girl character is fun. She has these like freak outs because she's on this medicine, and that's relatable. I can understand that, of like, you know, being in love with someone and they have like things that affect them that are not their fault. You know, it's just kind of, it's how it happens. You dealt a certain hand, right? And you have to work through it and live with it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good. I'd say check it out. If you like metal music, you'll really like this. If you like these kind of high school drama movies, you'll like it. There's a good romance, and it's just some fun and funny stuff. So check it out. I don't have as much to say about it because I think it's reviewed where it's supposed to be. Like I don't have to defend this movie or try to put it above anything else, because looking at IMDb, it's at 6.7. I'd say, yeah, okay, it's 7.5 for me. It's a little bit better than that. But I'm an optimist, and I just love movies, and I love to have fun and watch stuff. So I always end up rating stuff higher than most people if it's good, you know. So yeah, there's your double header of Netflix movies you can watch right now. Netflix needs to sponsor me because I'll be watching their shit and pumping it up. And by the way, Netflix is kind of crashing. It seems like they're kind of tanking, and they've raised prices, and people are dipping out. But I've had Netflix for so long that it's just kind of one of the mainstays that, and I probably would cancel it. But my girlfriend just uses it it's like her go-to thing to watch stuff on. So, because I could find stuff to watch on HBO Max or Hulu's cheaper, and I have Amazon Prime. I could find stuff to watch on there. But Netflix, that's where she goes, so it's whatever. And it's fine. All right, thanks, everybody. Subscribe, please. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs on this channel. Hit the like button. Comment down below if you've seen these movies. I doubt it. Doubt you have, but comment anyways. You won't. Bye.